Here is the story of a sacred pink candle. My daughter Marie loves candles. There was a time when she had to walk the mall every single day, and we always had to go into the candle store. She loved to look at the candles, and she loved to smell the candles. Now, for a kid with profound mental disabilities, she's always had a great vocabulary. She called smelling those candles aromatherapy. So Marie loves candles, and Marie loves her mom too. So some years ago, she picked out a candle as a gift for her mom. The candle was pink and scented of roses. She gave it to her mom. Together they loved to light it, they loved to smell it, they loved to share it. And they called this candle the love candle. And here it is, right here. This pink rose-scented candle is the love candle, and this is a treasure in the Giroux home. Now today is the third Sunday of Advent. Our Advent wreath has a candle for each of the 4 Sundays before Christmas, and they're blue except for one. The candle for the third Sunday of Advent is pink. It's the candle for Mary, the mother of Jesus. I think of it as the love candle. On the third Sunday of Advent, we think about Mary of Nazareth. We just used her canticle, the Song of Mary, the Magnificat. It's her song celebrating God's fierce love. Mary's song is about God's fierce love for the little ones and the least ones and the lowly ones. That's what Mary sings. God turns power upside down and raises up underdogs. That's what Mary sings. God feeds, God helps, God blesses. That's what Mary sings. The pink love candle is hers. Now, in a way, my daughter shares her name. Marie is simply the French version of the name Mary. My Marie has taught me so much about love and about suffering. Mary, the mother of Jesus, does too. Now, in the back of those prayer books in your pews, there is a section called Historical Documents of the Church. I'm sure you have been flipping through this when I have bored you during my sermon. There is the Ancient Creed of Athanasius. There is the preface to the very first English Book of Common Prayer from the year 1549. You'll also find the 39 Articles of Religion. That's a document of doctrines from the time of the Protestant Reformation. And there's a jazzy text from 1886 called the Chicago Lambeth Quadrilateral. Wouldn't that make a great name for a rock band? The Chicago Lambeth Quadrilateral. But the very first document in that section comes to us from the Council of Chalcedon in the year 451, as the church was together working out what they believed about God and especially about Jesus. In that document it says that Jesus is like us in all respects apart from sin. It also says that he was born of Mary, who is called the God-bearer. And the Greek word they use is Theotokos. It means the God-bearer. Now, as early Christian thinking was developing about who Jesus was, early Christian thinking was also developing about who Mary was. And Mary was honored with this title, Theotokos, God-bearer. Now, this may seem like dry theological terminology from the ancient world, but it is saying something rather dramatic. God has a mommy. Mary was the mother who held this child in her arms. Mary was the first to love this child. Mary was the first to teach this child about love. And the church came to believe that this child was God come in the flesh. So Theotokos means something radical. God has a mom. Christianity says that the love of God is like the love of a mother holding her child. It's what we celebrate in the Advent and Christmas seasons. God holds you like Mary held Jesus. in loving maternal arms. You're always, always held in this love. Now, some of us here today are pretty grizzled. I am not a kid anymore, I know that. But the little boy I once was is still somewhere inside me. And the baby boy held in the loving arms of Mary Ellen Giroux back in 1955 is still part of me somehow. And the same goes for you. The child you were, the baby you were, is still part of who you are. And you are still held in the loving, motherly arms of God. You are held, you are cherished, you are loved by the God who is both Father and Mother, the God who created you out of love, the God who will never, never let you go. Like a candle, you too spread a little light. You too shine in the darkness. You also are a sign of hope. It's because of the love of God. Now maybe you and I are not a bonfire. Maybe we don't spread that much light and heat. But we can be candles. Be a candle. Spread a little light. Spread a little warmth because of God's flame that burns within you. Remember the pink candle of the third Sunday of Advent. A pink candle is a silent, sacred sign. It's the love candle.